All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Model Monday Live. My name is TooTallToby. I am a certified SolidWorks expert, certified Onshape professional, CAD enthusiast, and I love speed modeling, and very excited to be here with all of you to allow you to participate in some speed modeling against the rest of the chat. It's the one and only place that you can go on Mondays for a live stream to challenge the other chat pros to see who is the fastest cadder in the land. Welcome, one and all. Great to see everybody. We did some shout outs here via chat earlier, and now we get to say hello to some people. I see Rambro's Workshop is here. I see it was FPV Kev who was actually the very first in the chat. Congratulations, FPV Kev up top here saying hello. Can't wait for Model Monday Live. Put a 1 in the chat if you can't wait for Model Monday Live. Rambro's Workshop also here early. Jim U here early. SW Guy is here, says let's go. Yeah, let's go. It's gonna be a good one today. Yup, that's me. Says he's in a work meeting doing some overlap, just trying to give you a view in a few minutes. Throw that up there on the projector during that work meeting. Yup, that's me. I think they probably want to see what's going on here in Model Monday Live. Lewis Mania EX is here. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to the show. It's great to see you in the tournament last week in the tournament chat. Sharpane is here. Hello. Welcome. Undefined Explode. Great to see you. Thanks for being a member on the channel. Pico Boo is here. Hello, my friend. Kate Leopold is here. First time, long time. Nice. And Sebastian is here. Hello. And SW Guy, new challenge today. Yep, we're going to have a new challenge today for sure. Jern is here. Our Build 123D user says hello. Mesa Makes. Mr. Corey Mesa is here. Comes out with a new video every Monday, new Onshape video for his students. I think that's an awesome way to teach your class, Mr. Mesa. And Matab is here. Hello, my friend. Great to see you, Matab. Brutal matches on Friday. Matab versus Ricardo Jean. It was definitely a slugfest during the tournament. Rich Penn is here. Hello, my friend. Welcome. Chillman says vamos. Let's go. Here we go. And Eric Potter is here. Hi, everyone. And Paragene is here. Good evening. And Dom Linder is here. Welcome, my friend. Thank you all so much for joining us here on Model Monday Live. Let's get into it today. Today, we are going to feature some CAD vs. CAD challenges for all of you out there in the chat to attempt to complete using any 3D CAD software, whatever your favorite 3D CAD software is. Let us know in the chat what you're using for 3D CAD. I love to see all the variety out there. And when it comes to 3D CAD esports speed modeling battles, there's nowhere else to go other than the TooTallToby CAD vs. CAD tournaments. And we saw on Friday some epic matches. We saw Matab against Ricardo Jean. We saw Dom against Atse. These are some of the fastest 3D CAD speed modelers out there, and they're all battling it out to see who can get to the finals. Well, it's going to be Ricardo Jean versus Atse. I was talking to Connor, my co-commentator, and he was saying he's so excited about Friday. He likes both of these runners. He has no idea who's going to win. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see those matchups. We're also going to see a single battle, a sudden death battle between Matab and Dom. And we're going to find out who gets third and who gets fourth. So very, very excited to see how this whole thing goes down. We got some Fusion users. We got some FreeCAD users. We got some Onshape users. We got CATIA users, SolidWorks users. We got lots of people in the chat today. I like it. Well, welcome one and all. You came to the right place on the right day. We're going to have some fun challenges today. So today we're going to feature 2 CAD speed modeling challenges for all of you. We're going to talk about TooTallToby updates, and we're going to do a live solve using Onshape. And we're going to, of course, hang out with the best chat ever. Will we see a Tier 7 in the finals? I don't want to say. I don't want to give any spoilers here. But will there be a Tier 7 in the finals? I don't know. Maybe. We shall see. Guys, I want to say, of course, thank you so much to all of you. Everybody who's a subscriber, everybody who does super thanks, everybody who's joined the channel, everybody who likes, all the tutorial makers, the super chatters, anybody who participates in Value for Value or signs up for Practice Models Premium, all the students, all the sharers, all the commenters, and of course, the Discord crew. Much love to all of you out there, and we would not have the TooTallToby community without all of you helping to support this and helping to keep the doors open. So thank you so much to everyone who has contributed over the years. And even just as recently as on Friday, really as recently as this morning, we had, we have people signing up for Practice Models Premium. It's a great way to support the channel, Practice Models Premium, and we'll talk about that more as we go through the live stream today. And of course, we got to thank all the teachers out there. You heard me mention Mr. Mesa earlier. We also got a really nice note from Mrs. Grykar and the awesome students at Franklin County Career and Technology Center. So thank you so much to Mrs. Grykar and your students. I hope that you are enjoying these live streams and enjoying doing the challenges. Thank you so much. If you're out there and you're a teacher, send me your name, send me the name of your school. We'll give you a shout out here on the live stream. Love to support the educational sector here on TooTallToby. Today we're going to do a live solve using Onshape. It's kind of a mystery part, but we'll be solving that one together. And don't forget to hit the like button. The easiest way to support the channel is to hit the like button, and the next easiest way is to simply share and reshare. Let people know what's going on. Mr. Mesa says, another educator who knows what's up. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, guys, and if you're in the world of SolidWorks and you want to go from zero to hero, or if you know somebody who's trying to learn SolidWorks, visit us at TooTallToby.com/training. We have 3 classes starting with a totally free 30-minute quick start. So you got nothing to risk there, nothing to lose. You just go and sign up for that 30-minute quick start, and you can take some free training and kind of get all your coworkers at least up to speed with the basics. Now, if they want to go a little bit further, the SolidWorks 101 training is available. And then when they're ready to get certified, the CSWP prep class will be waiting there for them. Not only helps you get certified, but helps you learn a lot of very valuable tips and tricks in SolidWorks part modeling, in configuration management, and in assembly modeling. So that CSWP prep class is not only prep for your CSWP, but also just a lot of good time-saving tips and tricks. Check it out over at TooTallToby.com/training if you are a SolidWorks user, or if you work with SolidWorks users who are trying to get up to speed. All right, well, let's get into it here today. We are going to... Chillman in the chat says, which one do you reckon is kind of better, Onshape or SolidWorks? Well, I can tell you as a convert, as somebody who is, a SolidWorks expert, SolidWorks instructor, I'm definitely smitten with Onshape. I'm very happy with what I see from the Onshape development team. New updates every 3 weeks, new updates coming out for Onshape. Totally browser-based, fantastic way to get up and running in the world of 3D CAD. And I'm definitely very happy with what I've seen from them. But, we here at this channel, we are totally CAD agnostic. That's definitely where my heart is right now, is in the world of Onshape. But I'm always willing to be proven wrong. I'm always open to any CAD system. But I got to tell you, as somebody who's been in the industry for a long time, a lot of experience, I really love the direction Onshape is going. Their ability to work entirely in a browser and to allow you to collaborate with other users is absolutely impressive. A little bit mind-blowing at times, multi-user collaboration. So definitely impressed with Onshape. But we see here in the chat, lots of people are chiming in, letting you know what they think about what their favorite system is these days. All right, guys, we're going to challenge you today to take a 2D drawing and try to turn that into a 3D model. And you're going to try to calculate the mass and then enter that mass directly in the YouTube chat. And then in the second half of the show, we're going to mix it up a little bit, and we're going to have you actually enter that answer directly on the TooTallToby platform. So if you haven't signed up for a free account at TooTallToby.com, this is your chance to do it. Go get signed up for a free account, and that way you can participate in the second half of the show today. But for everybody who's out there watching, we're going to do the first half of the show all right here on YouTube. So you still got some time. And the basic rules are that you can use any 3D CAD package as long as you can input density and output mass. Make sure that you use the specified precision on the print, and the first person who answers correctly in the chat will win. Now, of course, to calculate the mass correctly, you have to know what the material density is. And here are the material densities that we use at TooTallToby. We use these 4 different materials, these 4 different material densities. So make sure that you take a screen capture of these material densities, and that way you will be able to properly input those densities in your model and properly calculate the mass. So take a screen capture, make sure you've got these material densities. They might be different in your CAD system. You might need to create a custom material or a custom density, depending what comes up today. Of course, the winner will earn a point here on the coveted Model Monday Live leaderboard, and currently we see Aaron C is way out in front with 15 points. But guys, we do 2 points every episode, and we do 3 or 4 episodes a month, so there's still plenty of room for people to catch up. I haven't seen Aaron C in the chat yet today, so maybe he's not here today. This could be a chance for people to pick up some points uncontested, although I say that kind of with an asterisk because you got plenty of other competition here in the chat today. But who will earn the points today? You could earn 1 point, you could earn 2 points. You just need to finish these models first here amongst the chat. And of course, the advanced rules are this is meant to be fun and good-spirited. Occasionally, I will make mistakes, and the Ivan exploit is permitted. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Ivan exploit, this is something that came up a few years ago during the tournament. Ivan was able to discover there's a little bit of an exploit. And Aaron C. and I have been working on a video to help explain what the Ivan exploit is. Unfortunately, we ran into some unexpected delays here. Trade talk stall, much anticipated Ivan exploit video release. So in an unexpected twist, more suited to a geopolitical thriller than the world of 3D CAD entertainment, the release of the eagerly awaited Ivan exploit video collaboration between TooTallToby and fellow CAD creator Aaron C. has been delayed indefinitely due to complications arising from international trade negotiations. Blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, we are running a little bit behind right now. We did have a little bit of a stall here. We were thinking that it was going to be available in the next maybe 2 to 18 months. And we might be able to possibly get back on that timeline. It might be a little sooner or possibly a little bit later than that as well. So stay tuned. We're not done. It's not completely gone. We see that, some fans maybe are thinking that it's just never going to be released, but we are definitely trying to release this. You see here, industry analysts speculate that the delay may actually boost hype for the video, which had already generated buzz on Reddit, LinkedIn, and Discord under hashtags like Free Ivan and hashtag Exploit Diplomacy Now. So yeah, definitely a lot going on here. Aaron C says hello to everybody. He is here in the chat. It's definitely going to come out at some point, possibly in the future someday. So now that we got that squared away, I know some of you guys probably heard about that on the news cycle this weekend. Don't worry, it's not the end. We're still going to definitely be releasing that possibly sometime. So with that, we're going to get into the first challenge here. And in this first challenge, what we're going to do is we are going to show you a 2D drawing and have you try to turn it into a 3D model. As soon as this goes full screen, you are going to have to do a screen capture and begin modeling in your CAD system of choice. So here we go. This first Model Monday Live challenge begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part? A little bit of an easier part here. What is the mass of this part in xxx.x grams? Tolerance is plus or minus 0.2 grams. Make sure that you answer correctly. Make sure that you answer right here in the chat. What is the mass of this part in xxx.x grams? This is a tier 4 part. Believe it or not, it's got enough features that it pushes it up into the tier 4 section. Aaron C coming in with an answer immediately. Coming in with an answer. And it is not at the correct precision, and it's a good guess, though. He's just looking at the print and firing in a guess, really trying to lock down those points. So the first person to answer correctly in the chat will earn the point, and we're going to see some answers coming in here, I'm sure, over the next few minutes. Take a screen capture, because we are going to move on with our presentation today, and see if you can model this part. It's in ABS. It's a corner insert. Some type of a plastic insert here, probably like a nylon insert, but we're just going to say it's out of ABS. Take a sip of my delicious coffee here from my fantastic coffee mug. All right, and hopefully that was enough time for everyone to do a screen capture of this drawing, of this challenge. We're going to find out who's the fastest in the chat. You're going to find out who's going to earn a point on the Model Monday Live leaderboard, and grab a screen capture of this print, and that way we can move on with today's presentation. And here we go. Now, the second half of the show, we're going to do another challenge. It's going to be a little bit different. Aaron C says, I didn't realize that it had to be correct. Yes, always important that it's correct. And guys, I know you're working diligently here, but don't forget to hit the like button on this video. Looks like we got about 30 people watching right now. Looks like we got 24 likes. That is a pretty darn good ratio. Very nice, very nice. Look at Rambro's Workshop already coming in with an answer. He wants those points. Is it correct? Is it not correct? Here on Model Monday Live, you can answer more than once. Of course, you can answer as many times as you want, and we will only accept the final answer in that list. So you can answer as many times as you want. Here we see another answer coming in, different answer. So which one is correct? I don't know. Are either of them correct? Are they both incorrect? We don't know. Guys, don't forget, if you like what we're doing here on the channel, tell a coworker about it. Go into the next team meeting and bring up Model Monday Live on the projector and let everybody know what we're doing. Ricardo Jean coming in with another answer. Sebastian coming in with another answer. Wow, look at this variety. Great to see you here, Ricardo Jean. Look at this variety. I like it. And don't forget, if you want to join the party, you can sign up for Practice Models Premium over at TooTallToby.com. We are going to be using Practice Models Premium in the second half of the show, so make sure that you get over there and get signed up. Make sure that you use Super Chat and Super Thanks to support the channel financially. And, of course, you could take training with Toby. We mentioned some of that training a little bit earlier. Now, in the world of TooTallToby, the big news right now, aside from the trade negotiation stalling the creation of the Ivan exploit video, the big news right now is the tournament, the 2025 Spring Open CAD Speed Modeling Championship. And the tournament is live, and the finals are this Friday, May 23rd. And wow, what a final it's going to be. Ricardo Jean, who's in the chat, going up against Otse, friend of the show, certified SolidWorks professional, helped me kind of beta test the CSWP training. Very excited to see this showdown. If you didn't get a chance to see the earlier battles, they're all on the YouTube channel, so you can go back and you can watch all those earlier battles. But wow, they were some epic battles, and I'm very excited to see this final battle, this final showdown. As we go through the tournament, one of the fun things is that the models get more and more complicated, so we get to really test these runners and really see how their thought process goes when we're working with more and more complicated challenges. So of course we'll see that on Friday as well. And we made the announcement during the tournament. You know, this tournament was almost all SolidWorks users. We only had one non-SolidWorks user, who was Scott, who was running RhinoCAD or Rhinoceros. And we decided to make the announcement on Friday that we are going to be hosting a new tournament this summer, an additional tournament called the 2025 Variety Tournament. And this tournament is going to feature a special mechanism that allows for a variety of CAD systems to enter. We're not going to get completely loaded with one single CAD system. And instead, what we're going to do is we're going to take the fastest times, but once two people qualify with the same CAD system, then that's going to be it for that CAD system. They're going to kind of box out that CAD system. So for example, if we go here to TooTallToby.com and we go here to tournaments, and then we take a look at like the Spring Open tournament, we saw here that we had SolidWorks, Rhino, SolidWorks, Libre, Inventor, Fusion, Inventor, Onshape, CATIA. So what we'll do is we'll take the fastest two SolidWorks times, then we'll move down, then we'll take the next fastest time that's not SolidWorks, so Rhino. Then we'll take the next fastest time that's not SolidWorks, so Libre. Then the next fastest time that's not SolidWorks, so Inventor. Next fastest time is not, so Fusion. And then here's the second Inventor. So now Inventor is boxed out. And then here's Onshape. So now Onshape is boxed out. And then here's Fusion. So now Fusion is boxed out. So as soon as we have two CAD systems from the same, so that in that tournament, we would have SolidWorks, Inventor, Fusion, or we would have SolidWorks, Inventor, Onshape, Fusion, and a Libre. That would be our variety. We'd have a lot of, and Rhino. We'd have 4 or 5 different CAD systems in there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see how that mechanism all comes together. And our goal here is to have registration in June. But, if we can get that registration open even sooner, we will. We'll give everybody plenty of time to go through and do those speed runs. So check it out. Check it out at TooTallToby.com/tournaments. We'll continue to update everybody with more news. But the Variety Tournament has been announced, and we will be launching that over the summer. Matab says, thanks everyone. My first MML point if I win. Yes, indeed. All right. And the other thing I want to mention is that we are announcing a new partnership here in 2025. TooTallToby's Practice Models is now partnering with Model Monday Live. And what this means is that we are going to be using practice models in the second half of the show. So if you haven't signed up for a free account yet, go on over to TooTallToby.com. When you go to TooTallToby.com, you'll see here on the front page in the upper right, there's a section for register. So just get on up there and sign up for a free account, and that way you can participate in the second half of the show. Now, what is the Practice Models app? Well, if you like what we're doing here today, showing you a 2D drawing and turning it into a 3D model, that's exactly what we're doing on the Practice Models apps. But you can see here all the different 2D drawings that we released in February 2025. You can see here all the challenges we released in March 2025. And you can see here all the challenges we released in April 2025. And actually, there's a few more than this. We usually release 10 or 11 every month. So there's actually a few more that aren't shown here in this illustration. But the point is that if you visit the Practice Models app, you can really get a lot of practice in. You can filter by your challenge level. So you can see here's the Practice Models app. If I go in here to play and learn practice models, I could say show filters, and I could say only show me the tier 1 challenges. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the advanced challenges. I'm only ready for the tier 1 challenges. Or you could even say, only show me the challenges that are for users who haven't signed up for Practice Models Premium yet. Only show me the free challenges. So we're only going to be able to access here the free challenges. We're going to make sure we go through and finish all those free challenges, and then we're going to be ready to move on to the Practice Models Premium membership. So you can filter your challenges there. You can practice against the timer. You can track your time. You can come back in and do it again afterwards, and then try again if you've got Practice Models Premium. I think there's about 180 challenges on here. Let's take a look at the community scoreboard, see what we're up to now. We're definitely up there pretty high at this point. 178 as far as our total number of Practice Models challenges. And of course, we're going to release another one live here today in the live stream. And you can see we've got users from all over the world using all kinds of different CAD systems here. So the Practice Models Premium app is a lot of fun and definitely a good way to get in there and get your CAD practice in. It's kind of like going to the gym, but for your CAD skills. So check it out, TooTallToby.com. Let's get signed up for a free account. And we've got faster scoreboard, more filters, community tutorials, speed modeling videos, first 42, and more. So what is the first 42? Well, we talked about this a little bit last week. We've got our featured model challenges, which we've also been, taking a look at recently. You can see here if we go back to our Practice Models app, up at the very top here, we've got our featured models, Practice Models Challenge, which is available for all users. But you'll notice here that we also have a new section in the featured models challenges for not only our top speedrunner, so this is someone who actually submitted a speedrun video showing how he modeled this pretty complicated model here in just 51 seconds, but we also have the ability to see second and third place in this featured model. So you can just click on this video here, and then you can watch a video run of these speed modelers. Look at Tan the Flan Man, did this thing in 2 minutes, 33 seconds using free CAD. Can't wait to watch that video. So this is another really cool new thing that we've added. We just added this recently. We've also added our new first 42 section in our featured models, or really in all of our models. So the first 42 section here in the leaderboard allows you to see who finished this model from the time it was released. So you can see here this column is time since release. So you saw a moment ago there was people who finished the whole model in 50 seconds or whatever, but this is the time since it was initially released. Very similar to what we're doing here on Model Monday Live. So from the time it was released, we see here that some of our runners finished this in just 4 minutes, 25 seconds, 5 minutes, 14 seconds, 5 minutes, 31 seconds. So you can see how quickly our runners are finishing this challenge after it comes out. So a lot of fun over there on TooTallToby's Practice Models app. Check it out. Make sure that you are ready for the second half of the show. And we've got some really great new functionality added, the first 42 functionality, the top 3 speed modeling videos. It's a lot of fun to watch this leaderboard because you get to see the users kind of competing against each other to see who is the fastest. And you can see here that the pricing has been updated in 2025 as well. It's $8.99 a month or $7 a month if you buy it for 6 months. That's 6 times 7, 42, right? The magic number, the answer to everything. Or $69.99 if you buy it for 12 months, which works out to just under $6 a month. So definitely a valuable, like I said, it's almost like a gym membership, but a very valuable gym membership. A gym for your brain, gym for your CAD skills. 2K 1K is here. Says good morning. Good morning, my friend. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live stream. Great to see you in here. And if you wanted to see a distribution by tier level, shout out to Rich Penn, who put together this beautiful chart for us last week. You can see that we're a little bit heavy on the tier 4 models. We got to pad out some of our lower tier and our higher tier models. Guys, I got to say thank you so much to Bodie McBoatpants, our resident web developer. Really makes all this happen, makes all this great functionality come to life. And of course, thank you to Hubie 3DFX, more recent addition to the team, who's really been working hard to help make our leaderboards all work the way that they work. PC Arduino says, lower than any gym membership deal anywhere. Yes. Rich Penn says, my morning caffeine fix costs more than premium models. Yeah, I'm sure. Even if you're brewing coffee at home, it probably costs more than Practice Models Premium. So what we're going to do in the second half of the show is we're going to leverage that new first 42 column, and we're going to use that to determine who is the fastest speed modeler, and we're going to release a brand new featured model. So we'll release that brand new featured model, and then we'll check this first 42, and we'll see who is the fastest speed modeler on that brand new feature model. So get logged in, get signed up with your free account. I'm logged in here with a free account currently. You can see here that some of these are locked because they're for premium members only. So I'm logged in with a free account here, and we're going to see in a moment a third featured model is going to show up here in this list. So keep an eye out for that. And with that, don't forget, visit us on Discord if you ever have any questions about the practice models. Discord is a great place to get your answer for that. All right, don't forget the like button. Don't forget to hit the like button. 42 people watching right now. The magic number 42. That's what we like to see. Don't forget to share and reshare, and of course, sign up for Practice Models Premium. It's a fantastic way to support the channel or take some training with TooTallToby. TooTallToby.com/training. All right, guys, let's get into this first answer. I saw a lot of really good answers coming into the chat. I saw a few bad answers coming into the chat as well, but we're going to focus on the good ones here. So it looks like the first answer that came in was from none other than our current points leader, Aaron C., 1671 grams. Then we had Rambro's Workshop, 318.2, Metab coming in, 299.6, Dom, 299.6, Sebastian, 292.7, Ricardo Jean, 311.3, Rambro's Revising, 299.6. So you notice how we get this kind of convergence here. Metab 299.6, Dom 299.6, Rambros 299.6, Ricardo Jean 299.6. So a little bit of revision there. Sebastian 299.6. So that usually means somebody missed something and then went back and revised it. Paragene here 299.6. Very nice. Kate Leopold coming in here 299.6. That's what we like to see. And let's see, we got anybody else in here? Thought we saw a couple more. Chillman coming in 318.6. FPV Kev 299.36, Lewis Mania 299.6, Aaron C 299.6, FPV Kev 299.6, and Undefined Explode 308.6. Guys, the correct answer is 299.6. So congratulations to Metab. Well done, my friend. Very, very speedy. Very, very speedy getting that answer in there. Rambro's Workshop was a little bit in front of you, but you got to answer correctly, and it has to be your final answer. You have to really lock that in. So 299.6 is correct. So well done, my friend. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. And guys, let's put a GG in the chat for Metab. Nice done. Nicely done. Well done. Well done. Congratulations. GG. If you've joined the YouTube channel, then you'll have those extra emotes So you can use those as well. You can spam the chat with those GGs. But GG Matab, well done. GG and Victory Cat from Victor K, World Champion of 3D CAD Speed Modeling 2023. Well done, my friend. Well done. All right, guys. Well, we've now come to the point of the show where we're going to get into challenge number 2. And I just want to real quick say, once again, thanks again so much to all the amazing instructors out there. Thank you to Mrs. Grykar and the awesome students of Franklin County Career and Technology Center. So great having you in here. 2K1K says, this is actually fun. Well, it's about to get a lot more intense, 2K1K. Because now we are going to go over to TooTallToby.com/practice. So here's the site. And we are going to engage in a bit of a refresh fest. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to release this model, and then it takes some random amount of time. It's got to be like 150 Franklin counties in the U.S. Yes. Yeah, I know. Everyone. That's what I'm doing. I'm just hedging and trying to kind of catch everyone. So, yeah, you got me, Aaron C. You got me, bro. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to push this model out officially, and I'm just going to do it right now. Boom. And then we are going to all engage in a bit of a refresh fest here. And as soon as this refreshes and you see the new premium model here, the new featured model, so you just hit refresh up at the top of your page. We're all basically doing the same thing here. But as soon as that shows up as a featured model, it's live, baby, and the competition is on. So just keep hitting refresh. Mine's still refreshing here, hasn't gone live yet. Everybody's refreshing all at the same time. We're all gonna hit this website. Bodie McBoatpants is probably cringing right now, saying, no, you guys are killing me. Too many people in the website. Well, Bodie has really made the website very, very robust. So I'm willing to bet that we're gonna be okay here. I just got a text message. I thought maybe it was him. I was like, no. He's like telling me, stop everybody from refreshing. So Dom says, website may be locked up. I think it's okay. We're gonna keep going here. Look at this. Oh, I just needed to scroll down. Here it is. So guys, jump in there. It's live, baby. It's the first time we see in 3. I think that's maybe what threw some people off. Pico Boo says, I'm in. So here it is, 25:05:07. It's now officially live. It's officially been released, and we are going to use the first 42 to determine who gets the point on this challenge. Now, this is a tier 5 challenge, so it's going to be a little more complicated. So good luck to everyone. Thank you guys so much for visiting TooTallToby.com and signing up for your free account. And now we are going to enter into the Onshape live solve of this challenge. The Onshape live solve of this challenge. Got it. The model not the mess. Yeah, got it. Good. Got it. The model's working. So for those of you who want to see what this live solve looks like, we're going to show the drawing in just a second. It's going to look a little something like this. And here we go. Let's jump into our Onshape live solve of this challenge. Good luck to everybody who's out there trying to solve this thing in the chat. It's always awesome to see those answers coming in the chat. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to solve this here using Onshape. And so we're here at TooTallToby.com, and we're going to say get started. And we're going to see that up here at the top, there are some featured challenge practice models, and we can explore all the features of premium for free using these featured practice models, where we're going to attempt to solve this one here, 25:05:07. All of you are trying to solve it, and now I am going to try to solve it as well. And so we're going to come in here, we're going to say click here to begin and reveal drawing. And Aaron C., you may notice here that whether you're a free user or a premium user, there's now a new function here, open in new window. So what that lets you do is when you click on that, the drawing opens in a new window. That's especially important for those of you that are doing speed run videos, because what this means is that you can resize the clock here. You can make the clock a lot smaller so that you've got more room on your screen when you're speed running, and then you can still see the full size drawing over on your other screen. So just to kind of illustrate that, what I'll do here is I'll bring up Onshape, and I will kind of scoot Onshape over a little bit here, and then I'll just decrease the size of the clock so that I can leave the clock over here on the side. Just kind of scooch this whole thing over here, and boom, there we go. We see the clock, and we're kind of maximizing our space here on the screen while that clock is running. So now what we're gonna do is, before we actually get started with the modeling, we're gonna just take a look at the drawing here and kind of come up with a quick game plan. So it looks to me like this model is going to utilize some extrusions and some cuts mainly. We're not gonna really get in anything too tricky, but there are a lot of features in here and some basic planning will go a long way. And one of those things that you could do to kind of plan out this model is you can decide that your first sketch is gonna be created here as a circle, and then it's going to get it extruded out in this direction and in this direction. And so what I'm referring to there is this circle here, this tube right here, which is a 60 diameter tube. There's a 60 diameter, and I'm going to put the origin right here at the center of that circle. Now, why am I choosing to put the origin right there at the center of that circle? Because that's going to give me a nice location for that first sketch, a circle here on that front plane, and a nice location for my second sketch, which is going to be a circle here that gets extruded out to 100. So once I've got those two circles sketched and extrude, and then a circle here sketched and extruded, then I'm going to be ready to create my next feature, which is going to be this little tab here that's sticking off the back. And I could make that tab and the cut as two features, or I could just include it all in one sketch. I don't think it really makes that big of a difference. However, what I think does make a difference is choosing not to include my second circle here for this pipe. So when I go to create the sketch for this pipe, I'm just going to leave it solid. I'm not going to include that second circle. I'm not going to include that cut. And the reason I'm doing that is because that really frees me up to create this tab so that it's overlapping. It frees me up so that I can create this extrusion here for this cylinder so that it's overlapping. And it frees me up so that I can create this kind of tombstone shape on the bottom. You can see that over here on this view. I can create that tombstone shape here in the middle of the part. And then I can extrude that down, and then that gives me that shape. And then what I'll do at the end is I'll add in my cuts. A lot of times we save our cuts to the end. So then at the end, I can create a circle here in this middle plane and cut extrude it out. And I can create a circle here on this plane and cut extrude it out in these two directions. And I can create a sketch here of this little small circle and cut extrude it up for this hole. And I can create a sketch here of this little small circle, and then I can cut extrude it down for that hole that's in the tombstone. So I know that took a couple of minutes to kind of plan out my approach, 3 minutes just to plan out my approach, but I think it's always important to start out with a good game plan. And if you agree, be sure to hit the like button on this video. It's always important to come up with a game plan. And the first thing we want to think about is, where is our first sketch going to be and where is our origin going to be? And the more you practice these models and the more you practice that workflow, where's my first sketch, where's my origin, then you're going to be in such better shape. You're going to be in such a better position to create these models with the least amount of frustration, the least amount of hiccups. So now that we've got that game plan, again, I know it took a couple of minutes. Let me move this drawing over to my second screen. Let's bring up our keyboard cam so you can see all the keyboard shortcuts I'm using. And I'm going to create a new document here in Onshape, and I'm going to call it 250507 coupling with arms. Now, I am going to create this as a public document in the public space. So if you ever get stuck, you can log into Onshape for free, onshape.com/free, and then you could search the public space for this text string, and then you could actually look at my entire model. You can look at the entire history tree because it's here in the public space. So the first thing I'm going to do is just click on this hamburger menu, go to workspace units, and just make sure that I'm working in millimeters and grams. Those are my default units, so I think that is a safe bet that I am working in those units. And then I'm going to just stick to my game plan. Front plane, S key on my keyboard, begin a new sketch. N key on my keyboard to get normal 2. S key on my keyboard to begin a circle. Single click here on the origin, move my mouse, single click again, let go of my mouse, and I'm going to type in 60 as the diameter of that circle. Now I'm going to press the S key, extrude, and I'm going to press, I want this to be a solid extrusion here, and I'm going to go down to the depth of the extrusion, and that's going to be 138, and then I'm going to press tab, and press the space bar on my keyboard, and that activates the symmetry option for the extrusion. So symmetry, I'm going to hit the green check mark, boom, done with that first feature. Now, if I wanted to rename that feature, I click over here in the tree, and I would press Shift N, and then I might call this something like horizontal tube. Horizontal tube. Probably spelled that wrong. Horizontal. That looks pretty good. Horizontal tube. Now, I know they're both really horizontal, so maybe I could have named it differently, but we're working against the clock here. Let's keep moving forward. So now I'm going to go right plane, S key, begin a sketch, N key, get normal 2, S key, circle, and I'm going to create a circle here with a diameter of 60. Now, I could use equations or a variable table to make sure that those tubes have the same diameter. So if I change one, they both change. But for this example, I'm just going to leave that at 60. Could do it with sketch relationships as well. But at this point, I'm just going to leave that at 60, S key extrude, and I'm going to press tab, 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 and then I'm going to type in the depth of that extrusion, 100. Enter, enter. Now, you'll notice here that if I had made one or the other of these sketches with that other circle in the middle and use that circle for the extrusion, then I would end up with this kind of dingus here in the middle, and I'd have to do something to clean that up. You know, maybe another cut extrude or a delete face or something else, some kind of an additional step there to clean that up. So I'm just showing you that to help illustrate the value of saving those cuts for the end when you're working on a model like this where you've got hollow walls and there's going to be additional geometry potentially protruding through those walls. Just make it solid, leave that extra geometry overlapping, and then you can use that cut extrude at the end to clean it up. So now I'm going to take the front plane S key. I'm going to use the plane command. I've got that mapped here on my S key. It's also up here. Use the plane command, and I'm going to offset that plane by a distance of 100 millimeters. Sorry, 100 millimeters over 2, because we're only going to be doing this on the one side. So 100 millimeters had me kind of out here in space. 100 had me out here in space. So 100 over 2. Boom, that gives me half of that distance for that 100 dimension. And then pick that plane, begin a sketch, orient our view. And now we could reference this edge here from the original geometry, but a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just actually convert it into the sketch. So instead of just referencing that edge, I'm actually converting it into the sketch by using this command here, use project convert. And that just is a personal preference. It gives me a little bit more, I'll call it like defined sketch geometry. So I'm just going to use that. It makes it easier for me to hook onto that when I go to create my line here. So I'm going to create a line. If I put my mouse over the circle, maybe I was hoping maybe I could activate a tangency relationship coming off of that circle, but that's okay. I'll just come off of that with a line here kind of coming up at an angle, come back, touch the end point. Now I'm going to come around, and once I come around here, I can single click, and then I can let go of my mouse and I can just type in that radius. So when you're using auto dimensions, you don't have to always dimension every single dimension, every single feature, but you could use it here and there to save some time and kind of get your geometry close to the correct size. So I'll come down here with one more entity. This is going to be coming off tangent to that tangent arc. So single click, and then I'm just going to hit escape, and then I'll take this point and just drop it on the circle here. And then I can use a crossing to select both of those and press T. T is the shortcut for tangent, and a crossing to select both of those, and then press T. T is the shortcut for tangent. So now I've got that kind of tab sticking up at an angle. S key, I'm going to create a line here, single click the center point of that circle. Now I'm going to press Q. Q is the shortcut to change to construction, and drop that endpoint there. And then I'm going to press the S key again and jump into the dimension command and dimension from this plane to that line. And that's going to be my angle dimension for this thing. And that angle is going to be 35. And then I'm going to create another dimension here from this plane. See, this is the nice thing in Onshape. You can dimension directly to a plane. So from that plane up to this point, and that's going to be a dimension of 50, and that gives me the center point for my slotted hole. And so now I'm going to use S key line, and I'm going to create a line here, solid line, single click down here right along that 35-degree angled line. And when I drop in that dimension, I'm going to let go of my mouse and I'm going to type in 20. So again, using fully or a auto dimension there kind of sparingly. So hit escape. And so now I want to select that line so I can turn that into a slot. So I go to select that line, and you notice that I can't seem to click on that line. It seems like I'm getting the construction line instead. So this is where you would use that tilde key, the key that's up here on your keyboard kind of above the tab key. So you notice I'm tapping that, and it's showing up there on the preview. So every time I press that key, a different item highlights on the preview. Well, when that line that I want highlights, I can then left click, and now that line is selected. So you'll notice here that now if I go up to this flyout menu for offset, underneath that flyout menu for offset, there's an option for slot. And so I can create that slot there right in Onshape, right from that slot command. So first you pick that line. So it's kind of like a two-step lesson here. First, what you can do is you can pick that line by pressing that key that's above the tab key. Then you left click on that line. And then the second thing here is that the slot command is kind of hidden underneath offset. So we choose slot, and then we're going to make that as a slot at 14 millimeters, enter. And then usually I press enter one more time with the slot command. That's just something that you learn from, that's just something that you kind of learn from practice. And I see here in the chat, it looks like there are some people finishing already. We're already seeing some time show up in the first 42, so I can't wait to see the results of that. Says Matav here says, love that first 42 feature. And Ricardo says, there's only 4 participants so far. Well, I'm sure we're going to see some more times coming in there in that first 42 listing. So now I'm going to take that geometry and I'm going to do an extrude. And here we see that we are extruding that whole shape. You can see kind of we're extruding that whole shape there. Well, it's okay that we're extruding that whole shape because we've left that tube solid. So once again, leaving that tube solid is kind of paying off here for us. Anytime you have thin-walled parts where something might be protruding through, consider saving that cut extrude for the end, and you'll save yourself a lot of time kind of like cleaning up each subsequent sketch. So I'm going to say that I want this to go to a depth of 12 millimeters, and I want to reverse the direction on that. And there we go. We hit the green check mark, and that finishes that feature. Now I'm going to perform a mirror command. And in Onshape, when you mirror, you want to remember that up here, you have to fly out this menu and choose what type of mirror you're going to do. I'm going to be doing a feature mirror. And what am I going to be mirroring? I'm going to be mirroring extrude 2. Well, again, renaming your features is so valuable. It makes these types of commands so much easier to understand. So if I click here on extrude 2 and press shift N, and I call that angled tab, now when I go to mirror and I say features to mirror or feature mirror, and then I go features to mirror and I click here, it's very obvious what I'm mirroring. Angled tab, drafted wall, rib, corner fillet. Like when you rename your features, it makes it much easier to understand what's being listed here in these boxes. And then for my mirror plane, I'll just choose the front plane, and there we go, mirroring that over to the other side, done. And now we just have a couple of more features here. We're gonna go top plane, begin a sketch, orient our view, and wow, look, the origin is right there, ready for me when I go to create that diameter circle. So that circle is going to be at a diameter of 24, just right there, right on the origin. I don't have to define anything, no dimensions. That's pretty nice. So S key extrude, and then tab, tab, tab. This is going to come up to a height of 38. And that looks good. And now top plane again, S key, begin a sketch, N key to get normal 2. And we're going to create this as a line, come back, touch the end point, arc, single click, and then we can type in the radius there for that arc, radius 12, and then another line here. And we could say that we want this to go to 14, and then we could bring that across like so, and then we could just trim that up. Okay, you could trim it up or make those two endpoints coincident. Either way, what I did there was I jumped into the S key and I launched the trim command, these scissors, and then you just left click and drag in the background here, and you drag through these two kind of hanging end lines, and then that trims those off. And so now I can jump into, I'll just hit escape here, jump into a sketch relationship. I'll make this point here and this origin horizontal. So I'll press H, and makes those two horizontal. And I'll take this line here and this edge of the part and press I for collinear or coincident. And that takes care of that sketch, nice and fully constrained. And now we're gonna S key extrude, and let's reverse direction and 38. Same depth, but in the opposite direction. And now that's it for our solid features. Now we just need to go through and add in our cut extrudes. So we could start out here by going to front plane, S key, begin a sketch, N key, get normal 2, S key, circle, single click this point, move our mouse, single click again, let go of our mouse, type in 38 for our 2x-D, S key extrude, remove. This is gonna go through all. So it's going through all in one direction right now, and symmetric, and we hit the green check mark. Right plane, we're just going to repeat that workflow. S key, begin a sketch. N key, get normal 2. S key, begin a circle. Single click, move our mouse. Single click again, let go of our mouse. 38, enter. And then S key, extrude, remove. And this is going to go through all and reverse direction. There we go. That preview looks good. Hit the green check mark. And now top plane, S key, begin a sketch, N key, get normal 2, S key, circle, single click here, move our mouse, single click again. This is going to be 12, I think, or 10 millimeters for that hole. S key extrude, and this is going to be remove and through all. And let's reverse direction, boom. And then finally, top plane, S key, begin a sketch, N key, get normal to, N key again, to get normal to on the other side to make it a little easier to reference that edge. So we'll drop in a circle here, 10, and then we can pick on that edge, and then the shortcut for concentric is Shift O. And the only way I ever remember that is concentric. So I think like concentric, and then I remember Shift O to make those two concentric when you pick that and pick that. You know, circles, it kind of looks like an uppercase O, so concentric. That's the only way I can really remember that one. So maybe that'll help you as well. And then S key extrude, and this is going to be a remove and through all, and hit the green check mark. And now to finish this thing off, we do what's called the final spin. Kind of spin this thing around and look at it. I think it looks pretty good there. And then what we do is we can press the letter P on our keyboard to hide our planes. We can go down here to the parts list. We could right click and say edit appearance and just kind of change the appearance to make it look a little bit closer to what the customer originally spec'd out. The customers always like it when you make your parts kind of match up with what their actual parts are. So make this kind of like a red almost there. Kind of try to match up with that original part, maybe like a lighter red. There we go. And then finally, what we can do is right click on that part. And then when we right click on that part, we can say assign material. And now my materials are coming from the TooTallToby custom materials library. So if you're not sure how to do that, just look down in the description. We've got a link showing how to set up your Onshape custom materials. So this is going to be plain carbon steel. And then we hit the green check mark. And then finally, we click this button down here for mass. Click on that button for mass. And then we click on the part. And we see we're coming up with a mass here of 3,221 grams. So we'll come back in here to the app, the TooTallToby app here, and we'll type in 3,221 and enter. Nope, typed it in wrong. 3,211. So I typed in 3,221, and it says 3,221 is not correct. That was a little bit of a mistype. That should be 3,211. But it is cool. It's showing that the app is actually validating these answers. So 3,211 and enter. And oh yeah, we did it. We got that purple box, and that purple box means that we answered correctly, and that is what we like to see. And so congratulations, your time is going to be submitted 1747, and we say submit. And that is your Onshape live solve for this 25-05-07 coupling with arms practice model. If you guys enjoyed that, be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe to the channel. And for all those of you who are participating live, it looks like we already have 14 people. That is amazing. 14 people who have completed this model. So let's go down into our first 42 and let's see who won this thing. Drum roll, please. And Rambro's Workshop. Wow. So that model took me 17 minutes. Rambro's Workshop from India, our world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling. The world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling. He finished it in 4 minutes and 57 seconds. And wow, look at CSWE Victor using Onshape right behind him. Second place, finished in 5 minutes and 0 seconds. So just 3 seconds behind. Of course, Victor K, CSWE Victor, is the world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling 2023. Rambro's Workshop, the world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling 2024. And Matab right behind him, the world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling 2025, possibly finishing in 8 minutes and 5 seconds. So congratulations to Rambro's Workshop, getting that second point of the day here on Model Monday Live. Matab in the chat says, wow, 2 world champions ahead of me. Nothing to lose. Yeah. Very, very impressive. Ricardo Jean says, Toby, look at the top 100. So the top 100 showing Ricardo Jean in just 4 minutes. Yo, well done, my friend. That is a fast time. So the difference here is this is your time to completion, you know, from the, meaning if I go into the model here, if I do try again, and then I go in and I say reveal drawing, and then I do the model and I enter in my answer there, then that's going to show up in the top 100. Now that's fun. You know, that's like it's a fun chart. The problem is that like anybody could cheat this, right? I mean, I don't think you guys are all engineers. You could probably figure out how you could cheat this, right? You could solve it once, and then you could just type in the answer and 5 seconds, and then your answer would be 5 seconds in the top 100. Now, we do try to kind of curve that a little bit by having a limiter on the bottom end and on the top end. But the point is that, like, you're not really going to have a witness there on the top 100. So the top 100 is really kind of for you guys just to see who's able to finish this the fastest. If you really want to prove that you did the model in the time that you say you did it in, then what you can do is you can record yourself, and then here in data and analytics, you can enter in your video here. So you can post in your YouTube video here, and then once you post in that YouTube link there, that's how you show up on the speed modeling chart here in community videos. So if we go back to, for example, that earlier featured model where we had a few people who had done that featured model, see like this one here. So we see MCGA, Gothic, and Matab have all completed this one. Well, those videos actually show up here in this leaderboard as a video. So, you know, if MCGA is saying, I did it in 1 minute and 6 seconds, you know, they could put that on the top 100 board. You know, like this person here, Evelyn Rose Birch, says that they did it in 32 seconds. But, you know, if there's not a video, then there's not proof. And so if you want to really prove it, record yourself doing it, post that video here in data and analytics, and then you'll show up here on the community video so everybody can watch and can see you doing that in, you know, 32 seconds or 1 minute and 6 or 1 minute 11 or 1 minute 32. So that's the difference, Ricardo Jean. I hope that makes sense. He says, yeah, anti-cheat. I like it. Yeah, exactly. Pixar didn't happen. Exactly, Peekaboo. You got it. Exactly. Pixar didn't happen. That's exactly the spirit of that one. So that's it for our runs. Congratulations to Matab, MCGA, Peekins from Ireland. Yo, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Congratulations. Well done. Ricardo, Jean, SW Guy here. Very nice, very nice. Let's see here. Who else we got? Kerberos has got it here. Jim Yu from Sweden using FreeCAD. Let's go. Jern is here. We got Leopold here. The CAD Queen. I guess that's Kate. I'm assuming that's Kate in the chat. Congratulations. Perkins is here. Is Paragene. Nice, nice, very nice. Dom is here. Congratulations, Dom. Chris Odom is here. Good work, Chris. And Dre KY. And bringing things up on the end is Nikola Tesla. And of course, that's my account that I use when I'm making these Onshape tutorials. So congratulations to everybody who made it into the first 42. Congratulations to Rambros earning that second point of the day. And congratulations to everyone. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to sign up for Practice Models Premium. If you like what we're doing here and you want to keep this thing rolling, you know, we got to keep the doors open. We got to keep the electricity on. We got to keep the network connection strong. So a great way to support the channel. And 3211 grams is the correct answer. And good game, guys. Good game, SW Guy. Good seeing you in here. And thank you so much to the most amazing chat ever, to all of you. Congratulations to Matab earning his first point of the year. Congratulations to Rambros Workshop earning another point, getting closer to Aaron C. And guys, this Friday, tournament finals. Cannot wait to see these tournament final matchups. And then next week, Model Monday Live once again. But as always, I just want to say thank you all so much for joining me. This is such a fun way to start the week with all of you. You guys truly are the best chat ever. Thank you so much. Ricardo Jean coming in with some super chat here to end the live stream. A great way to end the live stream. A great way to start our week. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. And don't forget, this Friday, tournament finals for the Spring Open. Very excited. Good luck to Ricardo Jean. Good luck to Atse. Those battles are going to be absolutely epic. And guys, I know we're all very excited to see them. So thank you all so much. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.